Hey guys, good morning. Expected to wake up this morning with 10 inches of snow on the ground, but I guess five will do. Um, Hope that you're all having a good morning and enjoying your snow day so far. Today I'm just going to walk you through a couple things I want you to focus on for today as far as your informative essay goes. So, remember that we did start, we should be done writing our thesis at this point. Um, so, uh, let's talk just real briefly about that. You have a couple slides here that can help you walk through how to correctly formulate your thesis, remember your topic, your three main points, get your first draft down, and then analyze that draft. Are my three main points really talking about what I'm going to talk about in my body paragraph, or my two main points? Some of you only have two body paragraphs, and that's totally fine. So make sure you've kind of looked at it, checked for word choice and that kind of stuff, and where are our commas placed correctly. When you feel comfortable with your rough draft, you're going to put, or your second draft of your thesis, you're going to put it right here in this top triangle of your graphic organizer. In these boxes, you're going to have the topics of your body paragraphs. Okay, a lot of you have already done this, and that's great. These boxes are not for you to write out the entire body paragraph. These are for you to put details that you want to make sure that you include your body paragraph when you do your rough draft. Okay, these are not for you to write your full body paragraph in. It's just for you to outline the order of the details that you want to include in your body paragraph. Okay, this section here, don't worry about it yet. That's for conclusions. We are going to work on writing good intros and conclusions tomorrow when we come back. Now, again, at least two body paragraphs are required for this essay. You may have a third. Okay. If you have questions about your thesis statement or anything about your body paragraphs, shoot those to me in an email. I'm happy to help. All right, so the next slide is a video about in-text citations. I was going to initially play this for you so that we could watch the whole thing, but if you would just like to watch it on your own time, it will help you properly cite your in-text citations. I'm going to click on this link right here. That will take us to the Purdue Writing Lab, and you will see where there's information about MLA format. Oops, I don't want that video. And how to cite electronic sources or web publications. Okay, so here we're going to go in-text citations, the basics first. That's what we're worried about right now. All right, so gosh darn it, Purdue, I don't want your videos. Here's some great examples of how to cite your quotations in text. So you're not going to have page numbers, okay? So what we're looking for is that you are citing where you got your information from. So your information should be credited to the author. Now, granted, some of you, the articles that were given to you do not have a specific author. They might have an organization, and this is where you put the organization's name. So maybe it's the Bureau of Education Statistics. That's a long word, but you would say the Bureau of Education Statistics stated that. And then you would just put a period at the end. You would not have anything in the parentheses here. Okay. If you want to cite what somebody said and then not give credit to the author within the sentence, you have to give credit to the author or organization in parentheses at the end of the quote. The parentheses is always followed by the period. There is never the period before the parentheses. It is always after the parentheses. Okay. Let's scroll down and see if there's any online citations here without the author. Okay, so again, here we have in-text citations for print sources with no known author. So if we cannot find the author, you can use the title of the article. I think most of the articles I gave you have at least an organization that is responsible for the publication of that website. So that's what we would use there. But again, you can just put, for now, until we can determine that. If you're not sure, just put the first like four words in the title of the article that you're using. And then we can go back and correct it later when we do our works cited page. Basically, the idea is that when you do your works cited page, whatever this first phrase is on your works cited page is what should go in the parentheses of your in-text citations. So that's something we can correct later. For right now, I just want to make sure that you are putting something here as a holding place for the correct text citation. So if it's just the title of the author article, that's perfectly fine as you're writing your rough draft. But please make sure that you are citing, please make sure that you are citing your sources as you're writing so that we don't have to go back and worry about plagiarizing or anything like that, okay? Coming back here again, you can watch this video. The first like 5 minutes of the video is pretty good about how to like punctuate your citations. But that's about all I would worry about on that video, just to go to the first 5 minutes or so. There's some more finite stuff that we can talk about in that video, like if you have extra long quotes and stuff like that, but I'll refer you to that later. All right, so next, okay, so we've done the rubric and onwards, we've done the graphic organizer. Our next step is to get to that rough draft, okay? So we're gonna put it together today. Within the rough draft section of this slides, I have sentence stems for transitions. We should always have a transition in between our body paragraphs, okay? These are some examples of sentence stems that you can use to transition from one topic to the next. Here is a sentence stem for how you can introduce evidence in your text. So in her blog, author's name, I believe I gave you a blog link for education in England. So in her blog, author's name states blank. Okay, the Center for Education Statistics reports blank. I put the years behind here, but I'm going to check MLA formatting and see if that's accurate, because it may not be. You may not need to put anything back there at all. If you cite the author's name, if you cite the author's name within your citation, you may not need to put anything in the parentheses at the end. We'll work on that as you get your rough drafts done. Here we go, sentence stems for explaining evidence. So if you cite a statistic from some source, then you should probably explain why the statistic is important, or what is it illustrating? What point is it trying to get across? What point are you making by using that piece of evidence in your article? If you're looking at kind of making a comparison between U.S. and American or U.S. education and your country's education, you could say this differs from blank, or this statistic is problematic because. But we want to make sure that we're explaining why we're using that piece of evidence, that we're not just throwing out statistics to people or evidence to people and expecting them to understand how it connects back to your main point. You need to make sure that you make it clear how that information connects back to your main point or is important to the reader's understanding. All right, so we're not going to worry about writing your introduction. What I want you to focus on today is getting your graphic organizer complete and starting your rough draft. As you're writing your rough draft, I want you to be thinking about citing your sources as you go. Again, they don't have to be perfect yet. Just make sure you know where that information came from so that when we do cite them correctly in our Works Cited page, we can go back and correct those without a lot of effort or frustration. Okay, so what are my goals today? I'm going to quickly put a slide in here and I'm going to write as I'm talking. Okay, so January 18th goals. Okay, thesis. Okay, that's step 1. Graphic organizer. Okay, and then this final step is start my rough draft. Okay, here you'll notice as I'm going to pull up that information for you, you'll notice on the template I shared with you, the informative essay rough draft template. Here it is. You have the template here. Now, please erase the word name and put your name. Erase teacher's name and put my name. Erase class and put English 1. Erase date and put today's date. Okay. The title is whatever you want it to be. It might just be Education in Somalia. You might have some really witty title. You can go ahead and use that. You might not have a title yet. That's fine. Leave title as a holding place. I don't care. Your rough draft, what I'm primarily concerned about is that you put your thesis right here, not your introduction. We don't have to worry about an introduction yet unless you're ready to go there. If you're ready to go there, good for you. If not, we'll worry about that tomorrow. Right now, I just want you to put your thesis statement right there. and then start your body paragraphs below it. Okay, you can delete this body paragraphs part. This is just a holding place for you. Okay, all right, so back to here. Goals, thesis, graphic organizer, start your rough draft. Okay, tomorrow we will be doing your talking about intro and conclusions. Friday, rough draft is due for peer review. Okay. Again, these are available to you on Google Classroom, and these slides, are available to you on Google Classroom, as well as all the links and videos. Please just work on your rough draft today so that we can move on to intros and conclusions tomorrow and be ready for peer review on Friday. I hope you enjoy your snow day, and we will see you tomorrow.